Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgiman and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Chainsaw Man episode 5. So, what did I think about this episode? I think this episode was just great. I had a lot of fun watching this episode. I think this episode has been consistently doing what all the other episodes have done, which has been elevating the source material to new heights, because this episode was just freaking great. I love this episode from beginning to end. Now, before I get into the episode, let's have a little quick recap of what happened in last week's episode. So in last week's episode, we got to see Denji fight the Leech Devil, and eventually Aki taking care of the Leech Devil towards the end of the fight. And we got introduced to a bunch of new characters, which were Himeno, Kobeni, and Arai. Now, the big standouts for me are Himeno and Kobeni because they're very important characters going forward into the story, as well as fan favorites. Arai is okay, not much to say about that. He's kind of whatever, but the big where we left off with the cliffhanger with Denji, being with Power in the bathroom, and Power being like, you know what, a deal's a deal. You did save me, so you get 3 squeezes, and these 3 squeezes were because 1 for saving Maui, 2 for not snitching on her, and 3 for saving her. So Denji, he just looks at her like, oh my gosh, she's an angel, while she's sitting on the toilet like a throne. So just great. I love that. But we pick up from that, and what we get to see is Denji, he gets to have his prize, or so he thinks, because what you get to see is Denji fondle some breast, and the second he does the first squeeze, he's like, well, what? Things fall out, and you find out that Power was wearing breast pads, and Denji's reaction to this is just completely shocked. He's so mind blown by the entire thing. He's just like, really? Because then you get to see Power, and she's just kind of flat chested, and Denji's just like, what? He pretty much got 100% clickbaited. This dude all this time thought that he was gonna grab, some huge boobs from Power, but the reality was that he got to feel some breasts, but it wasn't the breasts that he was thinking or fantasizing about. So, Power's just like, yeah, you get 2 more. And then Denji's just kind of like reluctantly squeezing them. As Power's like, she's like, oh, that felt great, didn't it? And you just see Denji's like complete inner thoughts, and he's just like, that's it? That's all? Like, that's all I was hyping up? This? Because of the dream that he was obviously imagining didn't live up to the hype. So he's just thoroughly disappointed. He looks dead inside. This dude is completely bamboozled. Power did one of the top 10 anime betrayals of all time, and you can quote me on that, because poor Denji, she broke Denji. Like, this dude looks so like done with life after that. He's just like 100% like gone. Like, this dude just looks broken. So after Denji's done, with the 3 squeezes, Power then goes on and says like, yeah, that was awesome, right? You would love every single second of this. This was the best experience of your life, I bet. So then Power just goes and says like, the entire reason I joined this whole devil association, the hunter thing, was so I can get Meowie back. But now that I got her back, like, I have no purpose here. But if I try to leave, that Makima girl's gonna kill me. So I guess I'll stick around. I'll help you out with your devil hunting. So yeah, we're gonna be best buds, right? And Denji just looks dead inside. So after that, you get to see Denji having to fill the paperwork of all the things that happened and went down between the bad devil and the leech devil. And he's with Makima, and he's just kind of like, venting to her like, this sucks, and like, I can't believe my dream was lame. And Makima just kind of like, hey, what's wrong? Because he looks all sad. So Denji goes on and tells her like, this entire time I wanted to funnel some breasts. That was my dream, and I did, but I didn't feel anything. Like, it felt empty. So Makima goes and tells Denji like, sensual things feel better when you're doing it with someone you love. So that's probably why you didn't feel anything. And Denji's like, really? And then, Makima's like, yeah, of course. Like, you gotta know their body language. And then she's starting like, kind of seducing him in a way, because he's like, the way that you feel someone's hand, like the warmth of their hands, the warmth of their body. Like, what if they touch the back of your ear? And Denji's all like, whoa. So then Makima puts one of Denji's fingers in her mouth. Is like, have you ever been bitten? He's like, no. And then she bites his finger. Is like, remember this bite. Even if you're blinded, remember this bite. And Denji's just kind of like, whoa, this chick. She kind of freak, bro. She kind of freaky. So then Makima then proceeds and, has Denji's hands. And she has him to feel her chest, and he's like, that's my heart. And like he gets to feel some breast from somebody that he loves. So obviously Denji automatically just gets down from the chair, and he's all like sweating. He's having the cold sweats. He's like, oh my god, what's happening? And Makima is just like, yeah, Denji, I'll tell you what, can you do me a favor? And he's like, oh yeah, anything. So after that, Makima tells Denji, I'll grant you any wish that you desire, as long as you are able to kill the Gun Devil, and I trust you that you can kill the Gun Devil because I find you special. And Denji's just like, completely simple, like, oh my god, Makima, he'll grant me any wish. And then he's like, is there strings attached? It's like, nope. If you can kill the Gun Devil, I'll grant you any wish. I keep my word on that. And Denji's just like, whoa, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Then Makima goes on and tells Denji about the Gun Devil, because he's like, what's the Gun Devil? I never heard of him. So you find out about this Gun Devil entity, and what we get of the Gun Devil explained by Makima is that the Gun Devil showed up, and it was the manifestation of people's fears about guns, because obviously guns, many people fear them. And at this point in time, it was a big crimes about guns, and violence and tragedies regarding guns were at an all-time high, and it eventually culminated in a terrorist attack that went down in America. And once that happened, it kick-started the Gun Devil. It was the appearance of the Gun Devil soon after. The Gun Devil, when it appeared, it killed and massacred many people. So people after that had much fear towards devils, which made every devil overall increase in power, which was a bad thing, obviously, because now all these devils got a buff. They all got stronger thanks to the Gun Devil. You also find out that the Gun Devil left pieces behind of himself. These pieces actually, if consumed by other devils, gives them a huge power up, because those pieces are actually little fragments of power of the Gun Devil. So Makima tells Denji, like, listen, how this works is that the larger the pieces of the Gun Devil you get to attach, they all kind of connect like magnets, and the bigger the piece, the more of the magnet kind of effect it will have, so it'll be easier to trace the Gun Devil overall. So Makima shows Denji all these pieces of the Gun Devil kind of stuck together like magnets. So she pretty much tells him, like, yeah, from here on, that's your mission. And Denji's like, I'll do it for sure. So then we get a little story about a kid and his family, and the story revolves around a kid that wanted to play, there was a snowy day and he wanted to play outside, but his brother was sick, and his brother wanted to join him to play in the snow, but he was sick, and the parents were like, you can't. And then the little brother was like, but I really want to play with big brother. And then the big brother was like, no, like, don't play, you're lame, kind of like any little older sibling kind of relationship when they're very young. Eventually, the younger sibling's like, no, let me go outside, I'll play with him, like, I won't get sick. And the parents are like, okay, you guys take care, just make sure nothing bad happens. He's like, okay. So obviously something bad happens. So then the two of them are playing outside in the snow, and it's it's very wholesome. And the older brother's kind of like neglecting the younger one. He's like, this is kind of lame. The younger sibling then throws a snowball on him, and then they start playing, like, it's very playful, and why not. But then the older brother's like, hey, get your gloves, because, like, don't be in the cold like this, you're gonna get sick. So then when you see him go back into the house, that's when the big massacre happened, or the Gun Devil. So the entire house is destroyed and blown away, and obviously the older brother's family just got massacred, and he was the lone survivor. And then you get to see how many victims fell to the Gun Devil. The Gun Devil ended up killing 57,000 people in Japan while it was active in Japan, because then you find out that the Gun Devil didn't just hit Japan, it hit multiple nations of the world. That included America, Canada, India, China, like all these countries. So you get to see the overall time the Gun Devil was in those countries, and also how many people died while he was there. But yeah, it was a huge number. Like, the Gun Devil is no joke. This dude is for sure one of the strongest entities in the Chainsaw Man universe. So he's, gonna be going forward as the big bad guy for the main cast. So then you cut to a scene of Himeno and Aki, and you get to see that they defeated a devil, and they recovered one of the pieces of the Gun Devil, because I guess this devil had consumed it. And then Himeno asked a question like, hey, do you think it ate it, or was it fed that piece? And Aki's like, well, I don't know. And Aki starts thinking about, like, the Gun Devil for a second, and then you get the big reveal that the kid of the backstory, the older brother, that was Aki. So you get to see Aki's, like, backstory in general. So Now you know why he has so much disdain for devils, because they took everything from him. They took his entire family, and so you know his goal is to take down the gun devil. So after that, you get to see that the association has gotten a call, and this call is regarding a hotel that it has the presence of a devil. And not just that, but this devil also is said to have one of the pieces of a gun devil. So the association is like, okay, we got to take this down. And they get Himeno and Aki's squad to join forces, and they're setting for the job. They got to take down whoever this devil is. Then Himeno throws this idea out of, hey, you know what, you rookies will get rewarded if whoever defeats this devil gets a kiss on the cheek by me. And Arai is like, whoa, he's all sweating, like, oh my god, a kiss from an unmarried maiden. Like, Arai is super down bad, bro. This dude is, I don't know what kind of fetishes he's into, but Arai is into some weird stuff. The way he acted about a kiss on the cheek, this dude is, I don't know what this dude's on about. Like, this dude is on some next level weird stuff. But Denji's just like, nah, that's lame, bro. Like, and Himeno's like, what? So then Denji's like, you know what, nah, I'm good. And Himeno's like, really? And Denji's like, yeah, I got someone special to kiss. Like, I got my queen, pretty much. And he's thinking about, like, the Makima, about all the things she was saying about, sensual things feel better when someone that you care for and your partner and whatnot. So he's like, nah, I'm gonna save my kiss and all that naughty stuff for Miss Makima. And then Himeno's just like, okay. And then she starts thinking for a second. She whispers up to Denji's like, okay, whoever takes on the devil, I'll French kiss them. And then Denji's like, whoa. You just see after that, Denji just like a horn dog, man. My man is ready for that. And you see Arai like just like sweating still because he's like, whoa. So pretty much after that, Denji, he's a man on a mission. He wants to get that French kiss, man. Himeno, this baddie. I mean, Himeno's a baddie, bro. Himeno is, to me, she a baddie, bro. Like, come on, you can't tell me Himeno ain't fine. Himeno is a queen, bro. We stand Himeno in this household. So after that, Denji and Arai, they're, obviously competing to get that French kiss. Arai pretty much just tackles Denji to the wall and is like, listen, man, I'm not going to allow such decency from a dog like you with Miss Himeno. Miss Himeno's a queen. I'm going to get that kiss on the cheek, bro, no matter what. And then Denji's like, bro, I don't care about none of your BS. I'm just trying to get, some tongue action. So soon after the squad keeps going into the hotel, they encounter this little devil guy. And this devil guy just, like, it's awkward looking, and he just walks in and he like jumps and attacks. However, it stops midair, and then Power just slices it in half. And Power's like, yes, I got the kill. But Himeno just like, actually no, that I did that, I helped you with that. And Power's like, no, I did that myself. I was like, no, you see, I got this contract with the ghost devil, and it allows me to have an invisible hand at any point, and I grabbed the devil midair, and then you cut it in half. And Power's like, yeah, right, whatever, you're lying. So then Power points a knife at Kobeni, and Kobeni's just scared. And Power's like, yeah, what if I kill her? Yeah, you think you can stop me? So then after Power, she's threatening about killing Kobeni, Himeno retaliates, and she chokes Power while using the ghost devil power. And, Power's just defeated easily. And after that, she's like, are we cool? Or are you gonna continue acting like a brat? And Power's like, damn, I hate this girl, because she just 100% defeated Power like with ease. You get to see also later on that Aki and her go way back, and she actually was one of Aki's earlier partners, because once the gun devil massacred Aki's entire family, Aki then ended up joining the association because he wanted to take revenge. So you then get introduced to the scene where Aki and Himeno first met, and it's pretty much like Himeno tells Aki like, hey, all my partners, you're my 6th partner so far, and my other 5 died because they were useless trash. So then she just tells Aki like, don't die. Are you gonna be useful for me? And Aki's like, I'll try. I was like, well, don't die. And so that was cool to see that Himeno and Aki go way back. You get to see a lot of Aki backstory in this episode, which was great because Aki's just an amazing character and I love him, and I think it was awesome, the stuff that we saw. So soon after that, you get to see that the gang is kind of trapped. And what I mean they're kind of trapped is because Arai eventually goes upstairs, but then he comes back to the same place he was, and then the gang is kind of like, what's happening? So then Aki's like, hey, Kobeni, come here. And he has her pose, like this in a peace sign, and he leaves the room. The second he leaves the room, he then happens to get back to the same place that he started. So he's in a loop. He's in an eternal loop, and they obviously think it's the devil that's the cause of all this. So then Denji's like, maybe it was the devil that power killed. Like, that's the reason we're here, because we're trapped here because of his ability. And then Aki confirms, like, no, the reason we're here is not because of that, because devils don't work like that. The second you defeat the devil, their abilities become undone. So the episode ends where everybody's kind of like trying to figure out, like, okay, how do we escape this, because we're kind of trapped in a loop. And Denji, the mad lad that he is, he just tells them, like, what, we have all this time, I'm just gonna go to sleep. And Arai's like, are you serious, bro? This is no time to go to sleep. This is a lot of serious stuff going down. And Denji's like, nah, I think I'm just gonna go to sleep. Like, I have all this time in the world, I'm gonna sleep, I'll make the best of it. And you know what, I don't blame Denji, man. Take your nap, like, you know, gotta get that rest, bro. So the next scene is just pretty much like the Denji falls asleep, and you know, Power and Aki's like, wow, this guy actually fell asleep. It's great. It's just hilarious. The humor in this episode was phenomenal. But yeah, that's the episode, and overall I had a lot of fun in this episode. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching and sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more anime and manga content in the near future. And while you're at it, comment down below, what did you guys think about this week's episode? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys like it? Did you guys thought it was alright? Whatever it was, let me know down below. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.